everybody, here we are at the beginning of April, and it has been snowing here in Montana all morning pretty much. I think it's slowed down a little bit. It's not necessarily sticking to roads or anything like that, but it is piling up a little bit on some of the other surfaces. I thought we were done with all this, but such is life in the mountains, and spring can pretty much bring anything. So I just thought I've been home all day today. I've gotten a lot of listing done, and I just thought I would do a quick video for you guys for Flatware Friday, because it's been a minute. And I was trying to think of what you would call this category of flatware. We're kind of doing a brand spotlight today, just to kind of give you an idea of certain brands maybe you hadn't thought of. And they're store brands, and basically, well, I'll tell you, it's like Pier and Pottery Barn and things like that. So they're stores that sell their own branded flatware. So they sell a bunch of other things, but it's not like Macy's, which would sell a bunch of different, like, you know, they'd sell Oneida or they'd sell other branded flatware. These are stores that have their own flatware that they've branded, but they are not just kitchenware or whatever sellers. Does that make sense? Anyway, I came up with a handful of those types of flatware brands that we're going to talk about today. Some I have experience with, and some I have not had any experience with yet. But we're just going to take a look at replacements.com. We'll also take a look at eBay and just kind of see what the selling prices are. Try to get an idea of the types of things we could be looking for when we're out on the hunt for flatware. I'm going to switch over to recording my screen. I apologize in advance for the disembodied voice you're just going to hear. I'm still figuring out my software issues, and I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible at this point, just so that it doesn't take up as much storage and things like that. So you'll just hear my voice as we go through some of these tabs, okay? I've had a little experience with Pier 1, as you can see here on replacements. Not a lot of them have specific names. You see there's a few mixed in here like Metro, but a lot of them just are going by what the, what replacements.com is using as like a catalog number or code. And so a lot of people, what happens then online on eBay is just go ahead and use that code in your listings, because a lot of times people will be searching for that. If they've done any research, they might not know the name of their pattern, but if they've done any research and they've come across the replacement site, and then they might do another search over on eBay. At the very least, I would use, like here, this first one, you know, PI 18, I think that's what it is. Anyway, I would also describe describe it as best as I can, like coiled handle or something like that, because people might also use that in their search terms. You know, you could use hammered, you can use twisted, all kinds of things like that. But let's take a look over at eBay and kind of see. As we can see, this little coiled handle one on replacements, if you recall, it defaults to the sort of most popular. So these won't necessarily be the most profitable, but they are the most popular on replacements website. The pieces that they sell the most of. This is the order that they sell it. So you can see there's two different coiled handles. You're going to want to make sure you get it right. Okay, I was wrong. It's PII 8, PII 5, and then PII 11 is what it looks like. Okay, so this one, like the coil handle goes down. It might be a little bit darker, maybe not. So just kind of keep an eye out for those details when you're listing. But if we go over to eBay and we take a look at Pier 1 flatware, these are the solds for the last 90 days. And as you can see, Pier 1 flatware reserved. This was a reserved listing for someone. I don't know if it's all the pieces that are shown here, but $200 for that coiled handle flatware. Now here's 65 pieces of the bamboo flatware went for $200. I didn't have time in this video to double check for sure. It says our best offer. This totally could have sold at a best offer, so keep that in mind. But I would pick up any kind of bamboo flatware. I have had no problem selling. It doesn't matter the brand. It doesn't matter if it's vintage, no name. Bamboo flatware just always seems to sell. Then we've got this one. See, they use the P, and they used 114. So anyway, it's very difficult to figure that out over on Pier 1. And that could be, anyway, they did describe the handle as, it says gold dot leaf braid, right? So people were probably able to find that. Plus it's a full like setting for 6 people. So someone might just have been looking for Pier 1 flatware in general. Here's another one, twist handle, $145 for 6 dinner forks. Now that one we probably should double check the price over on the research tab on eBay, but definitely here, let's go back and look at that over here. Nope. Twist handle. What did it say? 18. Did I miss it? 17. Was it this one? Let me go back. Yes, it was that one. So it's number 3 on replacements list. Let's see what they have their dinner forks listed at to see if it's even close. Okay, so $45 a piece on replacements. So that could definitely be a for sure kind of price that they got on eBay. Okay, so then Pier 1, here's some more of the little coiled handle. And then branch. A lot of these stores like Pier 1 and Pottery Barn, you'll kind of see a similar theme where they have very unique and very kind of quirky or whimsical type styles to their flatware. And whatever brand it is, if you see anything that looks like this in flatware, just buy it. Like, it's going to sell. Like, anything quirky or whimsical like that is just, people are going to want it. So I would have no problem checking that out and just buying it. Here's some more interesting ones with the little red ball at the end. It says it's rare. We have some sets, nice big full sets. And somebody sold 4 Pier 1 Lily dinner forks. So they have a name, and I kind of remember this, maybe coming across that. Sometimes, let me go back to here. Sometimes they have 2 listings in replacements.com. And, let me go back. And let's see. Let's see if name begins with JK. Oh, they don't even have an L, so no. So Lily, they could have come up with that from someone else's listing or from the fact that they remember what it was called when they bought it, kind of thing. So sometimes sellers do have more information than replacements.com has. I usually double check as much as I can before I use a name like that. If I see it repeated or if I can find some other evidence or proof of it, then I will go ahead and use a name that someone else has but replacements hasn't come up with. Here's some more of that twig branch kind of style. So very, unique looking pieces. And yeah, basically Pier 1, I usually just pick up Pier 1 when I find it. As long as it's in good condition, then I usually have no problem selling it. But Pier 1, the coiled handle ones definitely are top of the list. 2 solid forks for $48.95. Love that. And they're more expensive than the dinner forks. Interesting. That happens. Okay, so let's check out another brand, very similar. Here's Pottery Barn, and they have a style of this coiled handle one as well. They call theirs Fiddlehead. Luna looks to be their top seller. Here's a few other styles. Lettuce with the wavy handle. Again, like I said, kind of quirky. Pottery Barn seems to have some more classic looking ones that sell pretty well. They have a silver plate set that sells. And then here's another, so here's a PBN 17. And if you notice, it's also coiled handle, but it isn't that darkened color like fiddlehead is. So that's why it has a different name or different designation. So here's another branch one. It looks like it's in bronze, another cast bronze handle. Honestly, any brand that has this darkened, maybe bronze or just kind of forged looking handles, even if it's gourmet settings, which can sell at Walmart or whatever, I have had no problem selling that as well. So just taking a look at Pottery Barn over here on eBay for the last 90 days in solds, we've got some antique silver flatware. That could be that silver plated stuff, $1,200, but it's 12 place settings, so that's like 60 pieces. Again, we would have to double check that price for sure. Here's that wavy lettuce, 38 pieces, $795. Here's some more of the antique silver. That one was $700. You know, and even if we don't have the exact numbers correct, it's giving you an idea of the value of some Pottery Barn flatware. This one was a bid, so we know it was good. 40-piece mother of pearl handled flatware. Here's some of the fiddlehead. Here's some of the branch or twig. Here's probably an up close of that mother of pearl, $385. Doesn't say in the title how many pieces, but as you can see at the beginning, here's Luna. Here's a gold version of Luna. That could be gold in that first picture, but anyway, this one is Ashton Antiqued Flatware. So top prices definitely are larger sets. People seem to like to buy the full sets of the flatware. But I'm sure as you get down to, you know, out of the $100 range, you're going to see a lot more of the replacement pieces selling as well. So even if you find a few pieces, they could still be worth picking up and putting on there. Let's check out another brand, Ikea. Okay, so Ikea, talked about it a little bit recently in a video because I found this one behagful. After this video, after I film, I am going to be working on flatware again, and I need to pull that out that I found the other day and see exactly what kind of pieces I have. But as I had mentioned, Data is one of the top selling Ikea patterns. It's right here. It's just kind of a plain handle, but it curves down. And Dragon comes next. This one called 365, very basic. Fornuft. I've sold all of these in the top row. I've sold this one, Poem. I didn't get a ton of money. I sold like 4 dinner forks for $20 or something like that. Anyway, they have very, again, kind of, I've sold this before too. I think it was by Ikea. This pattern is also, it could have also been a gourmet settings one that I had sold. Very similar looking. I remember just vaguely a few no-name Ikea ones that I sold as well. So again, Pier 1, Pottery Barn, Ikea, I generally pick up all of them, and they do sell eventually. Okay, so checking over on eBay for Ikea, if we check highest to lowest, we're starting off with Data. You're gonna see a lot of Data for sale in larger lots. Here's one called Stratege. Typical Ikea names that are hard to pronounce. More Data, more of that Stratege. Here's Poem. This one is Data again, Data. Here's some wood-handled stuff. Some of the other flatware I have sold in the past was actually kids' flatware. It was in like a little flatware caddy. And anyway, it was just a cute little set, like for play or for children's flatware. And I had sold that. Now this cracks me up, okay? So I see this flatware and I'm like, they call it grammatique. And it cracks me up because I sold, I'm going to show you in the next tab, I sold some on Etsy a long time ago, black. And I didn't know the name. And replacements.com doesn't have this name in there at all. And I'm consoling myself that mine was black. But if you check it out, I sold this many pieces for $16 on Etsy. Now, I think at the time of researching, like, I couldn't find anything else like it. And I just was like, whatever. And I just listed it to move it because I couldn't find comps on it, right? So now I'm seeing it all over the place as I sort through Ikea, but most of it is the brightly colored stuff. Here's some red stuff. You'll see some more as I go down. Here's some bright yellow, 30 pieces for 70. So I just wanted to share that with you. Here's some more brightly colored stuff. And look at all these people who know the name of it. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so just wanted to share so you know I do not always know everything, and I don't always make the best choices in my pricing. Okay, and I don't even know. That was several years ago. This was the Flatware site. I wonder if it says on here when it was. I don't know. Anyway, that's funny. Oh, how far we've come. Let's talk about Crate and Barrel. Here's another one. I do not have any experience, I believe, with Crate and Barrel. I've sold some dinnerware by them, but I don't think I've ever come across the flatware. So this was interesting to me to see what it was all about. And so as you can see, there's Una, Pearl, Uptown, Barberry, you know, just kind of keeping an eye out for that name, Crate and Barrel. And so we see again the sets, a lot of new and packaged right at the top. What I noticed with Crate and Barrel, and I think with the next one, Williams-Sonoma, is that there are some collaborations. So some will be marked just Crate and Barrel, but then they might sell Robert Welch or something like that as well. So it'll be double branded kind of thing. So you might see that. But here's Crate and Barrel Draper James, which isn't that Reese Witherspoon's brand or something like that. Anyway, Crate and Barrel, Cirrus. So a lot of new in the package. Again, we'd have to probably drop down. Here's some 33 pieces for 50. Robert Welch steak knives, Crate and Barrel, $57. Anyway, it's just something to keep an eye out for. Keep in mind. Here's Una. Here's a dinner fork for 50. Okay, now we have to go back and see if that's in line with replacements pricing. Let's see, fork $100. Yep, so I would say $50 is right. That is one to keep an eye out for. Faux show. Splendide Dune Crate and Barrel. Okay, I've sold Splendide before. Maybe not connected to Crate and Barrel. So interesting. And then, like I said, the last one we're going to look at is Williams-Sonoma. Same thing. I don't think I have any experience with Williams-Sonoma flatware. Have sold the dinnerware, but stuff at Williams-Sonoma can be kind of pricey. So I would not be surprised that the flatware sells well. Also, looking at eBay again, we've got some Williams-Sonoma pewter handle, 1,000, new with tags for 300. So here we go again, Robert Welch, Williams-Sonoma. So they're kind of cross-branded, like I said, but then there's some that are just branded Williams-Sonoma themselves. So anyway, look at these. Ooh, 4 teaspoons, Williams-Sonoma, made in France, 230 and 230 for 4 salad forks. Woo, okay, just pays. Keep your eyes open. Try to read the backs of those forks and spoons and see what you can find. Okay, so just short and sweet. I just wanted to give you, like I said, a little heads up on some brands maybe you wouldn't have thought would have any value, or just, you know, sometimes we get so caught up looking for the Oneida and the Dansk and the things like that, that we could be overlooking some flatware that has some pretty good value. Let me know, have you guys started selling flatware? I know some of you have, and have definitely let me know about it and are being successful with it. So that makes me happy. I think there's room for everybody in this because it's replacements, you know, and you're going to have stuff in your neck of the woods that I won't have in mine. And so, you know, a lot of people are out there looking, especially I would think it might be a good niche, just like in things like in this economy. Okay, if people are not maybe splurging on new things, but maybe trying to make their current things last. That's just a possibility that came to me. Something else I was going to say, I don't even remember. I love being 50. I can't remember anything. My last couple of videos, I don't know, things I normally do on videos, I just totally spaced. Like my last What Sold, I totally spaced talking about Ruby Lane. I have forgotten to add music where I was going to add music. It's just not like me. Oh, I remember. Okay, so I also recognize the fact that a lot of you live in places where flatware is not plentiful in the thrift stores. Now, I just went on vacation and I was in North Carolina in Charlotte, and the thrift stores were, when we lived there, we actually lived there for a year, a long time ago. And that's one of the times we got into clothing, because the clothing is plentiful in the thrifts and the prices are not that bad. But the hard goods were really lacking. I think you would, you know, Mr. Pish Posh and I do this whenever we travel. We kind of scope out thrift stores and we're like, if we lived here, like what kind of changes would we need to make to our business? And we started talking about that area, and we were just saying we would probably be back into clothing harder, and we'd have to recognize that it would be a lot of bread and butter, and that you would just have to probably churn and burn a lot more. Shoes were actually really well priced. A lot of clothing gets donated in really good condition, and so we probably would do a lot more shoes. Flatware was sad, okay? So thrift stores just didn't have, at least the Goodwills, okay? I'm sure if you went to, like I did go to another like more private branded thrift store local to that area, and they had flatware, but they had it kind of priced kind of high. But if you found good things, you know, there was some like Ikea data there, but I didn't need it bad enough to pay $1 a piece or whatever it was. So I just left it. And, you know, it would be different. So I am saying this recognizing for you guys the fact that you might not have flatware in your thrift stores. And so but you may have other things that I don't have here. So that's what makes reselling so interesting, right? Okay, I will let you guys go, and I will probably have another video sometime soon. If there's anything you want me to talk about or like kind of areas to cover, let me know. I probably will have another What Sold just to kind of catch some things up because I was behind in those. And I will talk to you soon.